Well, it's coming along very well, a lot quicker than we thought. It's a lot of money to raise, and we've had some very generous contributions from Rotarians. We've had some matches from several different very philanthropic people and entities and organizations, and it's really coming along, which is really fine for us because in addition to the money, we're trying to develop a relationship with the students that are in the pipeline, who are in the pipeline at Western High School, and that takes a little time. You know, public schools, high schools are so programmed in terms of their day that it's very difficult to sort of initiate new programs, but we're doing that. And one of the ways we're doing that is we've started a junior Rotary Club at Western High School called an Interact Club, and they're very enthusiastic about doing some service projects with us, and we'll be doing some service projects with that group. So we hope that instead of just getting a check, this program will be about Rotary involvement with the young people who are in the pipeline of the Rotary Promise.
So that's really important. I didn't realize you all were doing that, so that's really neat.
Yeah.
What about, so this video will be shown to a large room of people who we're hoping will donate.
Right.
And I know you've gotten a lot of money, and there is a lot of excitement about giving to this particular, I don't know what we want to call it, but why should I right now think, as I'm watching this video, why should I get out my checkbook and write a check?
Well, you know, there are no lack of great causes to write checks to. We think that this program, like any educational program, it's really all about the future of what our community will be in the next 100 years. And of course, we're celebrating our centennial this year, 100 years of service in Louisville. And so we hope that by generating this kind of program, ultimately that will affect the 4 schools designated by the Jefferson County school system as being the appropriate schools, which tend to be the schools who meet metrics that qualify them for this program, will be also working with the young people who are going to be staying in this community, who will be running this town 100 years from now, or at least 50 years from now. And so that's really our interest, it's a future vision of what Louisville could be. And of course, we're doing this in conjunction with the 55,000 degree program. The second thing we like about this is the vocational application. Our scholarship will be extended to students who qualify for a scholarship at Jefferson Community Technical College. And so they can either go the liberal arts route and then move on to a 4-year institution, or they can do the vocational training piece. And that's where Rotarians can really be involved, we hope, as well as other industry groups and other employers in the community. There's a real push in this community to augment that vocational piece that the JCTC does. And so we're very excited about that.
You were there when this was announced?
Yes.
What was your, can you describe what that was like?
Well, it was a great day. We had the freshman class sitting in front of the stage. We had Henry Heiser was sitting there. Of course, Henry, this was his idea, and he's been very generous. We had Dr. Tony Newberry, the president of JCTC, sitting there. We had the school faculty, Principal David Mike, who's been wonderful to work with, and representatives from JCTC. And so we essentially extended the promise to these young people. We told them that, look, right now you have something that no other high school freshman in the county has, and that is a scholarship, and it's in your pocket. All you have to do is meet the metrics that we have: 2.5 average, 90% attendance, satisfactory disciplinary record. It's yours to lose, essentially, is what we told them. And I think they really responded. They signed a pledge that day that we are on board. Right now, I don't know how many kids are on track in the freshman class, but I believe it's 50 plus. Of course, it's almost the end of the semester, and we'll know more here in several weeks. But it's been very successful, and we hope that the Interact Club that we start will be a catalyst for doing service in that community. One of the first projects they are proposing is to do some cleanups of parks that are in their neighborhood, and we intend to work with them on that. So,
was there a feeling of hopefulness that you felt from those as you walked out of there?
Absolutely. When it started, the kids, like any freshman, were simply staring at us. By the time it was over, we had a number of young people who came up and said, this is wonderful. Some of them were interviewed by various news outlets at the time, and they're fired up. And the young people that started this Interact Club at Western High School, they're all freshmen. Rotary sent them to a Rotary Youth Leadership Training Academy in Western Kentucky before this started. So they came back with some leadership skills and being fired up about trying to do some service in their school and their community, and that's very heartening for us. We're going to be doing the same thing this summer with regard to the kids that are coming in as freshmen. So we'll probably extend the same kind of promise to this class, this incoming freshman class that we extended to the current freshman class.
Great. Okay, so you're going to need some more money.
Well, yeah, but it's not about money. It's about, we hope it's going to be about Rotary involvement as well as money. And because ultimately we want 4 schools, we're not quite ready for 4 schools yet. So this is growing at a pace that's sustainable for us, and we're very comfortable with the progress. The good news is we're halfway to our 2nd school, and we're right on target in terms of timing.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's great.
That's good.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kirby.
Yeah, that was the topic that you decided that you would put
I don't have any long stories on my list or my agenda. I think the whole thing is that I'm a past president now. What this was started was a idea of past presidents got together and thought that we should have one big project for our 100th anniversary. And that person that started this and got it kicked off was Henry Heiser Jr. He's the impetus to get this whole thing going. And it was my year then. All we had to do in my year is collectively get all the money to put into the pot. So everything that we had in our coffers or made from our Rotary fund that year was put into the Rotary Scholarship, a Promise Scholarship, which I think is great. And that was the start. And then with those funds that were also added to and doubled by Henry Heiser and also the junior college, it made our first $1 million that we had at the end of my year as president, which is a very significant thing because that's when we could go out and then approach Western High School, as we have, to offer this scholarship. And the thing I like about the scholarship is the fact that it's not just free money. It's not just a gift to be handed out. You have to work for it. You have to have goals. You have to be present in the school 90% of the time. You have to C+ average or better and keep your nose clean. And this is something that I think if all good parenting will bring around kids like this, it'll happen. And I think right now, I think it's going very well, and we have a lot of kids that are interested.
And why is it that education is such an important thing to our community?
It's important to any community. Without people that are going to school, adding education, filling jobs that require education, what I went to school for, obviously, I went to school, and did I use any of that education? Not really, not in my job, even though I'm a physician. What you learn then, you learn the basics, but you still have to keep up with things. So it teaches you and motivates you, I think, to keep working, to keep educating yourself. That's part of education. And once you achieve that, I think there's no stopping people in terms of what they can do.
That's what we need.
Good.
Thank you.
Evansville and Paducah, we were going, can we start this over?
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
so,
It's tape. Cut.
so the genesis of the idea for the Louisville Rotary Promise Scholarship really started when I was president-elect, and I attended a president-elect conference, district conference, and it was in Nashville, and a group of us were around the table reporting on which were the major projects of our club. And I heard both in Paducah and in Hopkinsville that the Rotary Club was doing a Promise-type scholarship with their community college. And the lights just went on, and I thought, you know, of all the projects that the past presidents of the Louisville Rotary Club had been considering, because I was using them as a sounding board to get ideas, and they were all excellent. But for something that would be a legacy instead of building a fountain or something that, you know, in another 100 years from now won't make a bit of difference, this was just so exciting. And so I called Tony Newberry on the way back and said, I've got an idea, I've got to sit down with you, can you make it happen? And so by the engineering of that college, and because they're a real funnel for a baccalaureate degree, and that's what we're working to get kids who have no interest, or no hope, no past family history of going to college, to get them into a 2-year certified college and then head for a baccalaureate. So
When you said, though, it gave you this spark, when you heard it, you thought, when you were driving back, you were excited. Tell me about that. What is it about being able to leave a legacy, to keep educating those who probably wouldn't have that opportunity otherwise?
well, to start with, Rotary International is the largest education granting organization, non-government, in America, certainly the world too. And the legacy of this club has been hugely in supporting education initiatives. So it was just a perfect icing on the cake to create this huge legacy that would go on way past 100 years, and to start it now. So the club the membership has just been hugely supportive. The Rotary Fund, which is our endowment fund, has been very supportive. And we are past the 1/4 mark of our $4 million goal. So it's moving, and it's very exciting. And everybody understands it's about tomorrow. It's about adopting the lower performing high schools and giving them a dream.
That's a good soundbite. Now, I'm sitting here in the banquet room watching this video, and you're on, and you're telling me about why should I, sitting here, write a check right now? Why is that important?
I think we're all very blessed and realize that we're so lucky, and to be able to pass this on, this opportunity for a better life. And the only way for people who have had no opportunity is education. I think we all are united in that understanding that this is the road to something much better than they have now, and that's going to make such a difference. And certainly at my age and many others in this club, what better legacy to pass on than the opportunities that would never be afforded to others.
Anything? I think that was perfect.
Okay.
I was looking for a good ending soundbite for the whole piece. Perfect. That's great. Henry, we can
Oh,
always count on you.
I just don't feel like I'm
You wanna
doing
do it
that
again?
well. No,
Well, Henry, let's just do it one more time then.
I'm just so uncomfortable doing that.
And you and I need to talk more so you feel really comfortable.
All right.
But I can always pull great things out of what you
All
say.
right. So I could say,
So you're talking to me right now. I'm going to donate, but I want you, but you're going to sell me on why I should donate some more.
one of the best parts of this program, the Louisville Rotary Promise Scholarship, has been the response. It's just been really overwhelming. And when it was first announced, I was just blown away by some of the major support of people that I had no idea how this would affect them and touch them. And there's been a real joy in the gifting from so many people. And it's been so encouraging to be able to show the results. And we're going to see, as the Western High School story develops over the next 3 years, how fantastic this has been.
So, but you want more money, right?
Yes.
So I know that you've had great gifting, but
After our next presentation of the next $250,000, which will become $500,000, so we have $2.5 more million to raise. We'll get there. It's very exciting.
But I could be part of it, right?
Yeah.
Just how exciting to know that we're talking again to the big crowd here that's watching this video, how exciting to know that you're part of bettering the lives of...
Well, the other great thing that we're partnered with is the mayor and the whole 55K initiative to create 55,000 more degrees in this community. And we are a very big cornerstone of that whole community-wide initiative. In fact, we're probably the most visible one at this time as other programs are evolving. And we hope to set an example that other corporations and organizations, certainly working with all the college presidents, we're going to get there, but we were the first, and I think we're the most visible.
And you need the buy-in from the people sitting in the room watching this video.
Absolutely.
So you tell me that. Can you tell me that?
And of course, to get to the next $2.5 million to reach our $4 million goal, we do need significant further buy-in by all the members. I didn't do that very well.
Fine. We're going to get it. We're going to get it.
You did great.
Let's do it. I want to do it.
Oh,
one more
you
time.
just say that.
He's going to see here. I'll just keep.
All right. So how do we
we?
say that better?
And rather than members, let's say the whole community, because this is also going to be used, once it's done for the meeting, for the event, Mitch is going to send it out for fundraising. This will be kind
Okay.
of a,
Yeah. So here, let me ask it to you in a different way then.
Should I take this off?
no, leave that on.
Okay.
That way I go, Henry. No.
Henry.
Okay.
Who am I? All right.
You look great. You look great. So here's my question. So you've had great fundraising. You've had great buy-in, and people are doing a wonderful job of that. But it can't continue on without the donations of those watching this video.
We've had fantastic momentum in this campaign, but we're a long way from finishing. And for the next $2.5 million, we need further buy-in from all of our members. And we all get hit up for so many good causes, but I think everyone realizes this is a permanent, endowed, perpetual success, and we are the cornerstone for the whole 55K initiative that is the single most important initiative of the Louisville community.
All right, and so I could be part of that. Yeah. All right.
Great.
Thank
Can
you.
Pull that off. That's
That's great.
Yeah, that's what we needed.
President Henry, thank
I
you.
feel